Hey everybody, I'm Tim here with Matt Booth, the founder of Room 101 Cigars, and today we're here to answer some beginner cigar questions. You're watching Cigars Daily.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
I want to invite you to get a lot more out of this video, as you would expect with Matt Booth, when you watch it on Rumble and on the community on Cigars Daily Plus. Wink. Well, Matt, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I think that for those who are not as familiar with maybe Room 101 or maybe with you, I just want to give people a quick intro about why you would be here answering beginner cigar questions.
Thanks for asking, Tim, and thanks for the invite. I'm grateful to be here. First-time listener, long-time caller, something like that.
Yeah.
So I entered the cigar business in 2008, launched a brand into the space in 2009, and have been working intimately with various factories over the last 16 years to produce our cigars.
This has been a fascinating thing for Room 101, and we're going to get right into these questions, but I have to sort of frame this up for you. You started effectively a boutique cigar brand that's not a boutique cigar brand anymore. Like in 2008, you came in at the tip of the beginning of the boutique, the boutique time.
Yeah. No, I definitely wasn't the first, but I was one of the first.
You were part of the tip.
Yeah, I was part of the tip.
Yeah.
I was part of the tip. Mid-bell. Mm-hmm. I was mid-bell. Yeah. And, and the rest was, history in the making, so to speak.
And that has now been almost 20 years ago, coming up on 20 years, the next couple of years.
Yeah. Here. We're over 20 years of brand as a whole, but in the cigar space, we're coming up on 17.
So
in market.
I want to, with your experience, not just as a lover of cigars, but as a cigar maker,
yes,
I want to take you through a few questions that are really common for people who are just getting into cigars to also give your very unique perspective on some things. Yes. Matt knows a lot about this stuff. He's blended some wildly popular cigars, but he's also just a horse of a different color. Okay, he's a unique guy. Horse.
Okay. I like that. Like a Clydesdale. Sturdy hindquarters. Sturdy hindquarters. Robust. All
right. I've got some questions that a beginner cigar smoker would be wondering if they're watching this right now.
Okay.
I'm going to launch into them. And some of these are going to sound really simple.
Yeah.
But I want to take people into what is it like getting into cigars, also from very much your perspective. The first question right here seems simple. This is, I hope, low-hanging fruit for you. What is a cigar blend?
A cigar blend, in fact, is a combination of an intelligently curated mixture of plant materials and a little bit of proprietary magic as well. A little bit of sorcery. I would relate it to, whatever your mother makes at home. Like for me, it was my mom's spaghetti sauce, right? No one could ever replicate this recipe, They could have the exact same ingredients, they could have the recipe, but they lack her magic. And so forever, her sauce will end with her.
So it sounds
Does that make sense?
That makes good sense. And if I understand what you're saying right, it's like it's sort of like a recipe.
Yeah.
And it's the specific ingredients.
Yeah.
In this case, they're leaf, but also a blend has specifically to do with the set of hands that sit down and put that blend into practice. Create take the recipe and execute it.
It's the hands in the house. You could give the same recipe and the same materials to 3 different houses, and you'd have 3 different cigars.
What do you think that it is with your blending that sets you apart?
Because I contribute my own personal psychosis and focus to the process.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I think that there's an interesting element of, being an outsider genuinely from the space. I was not generationally reared in this space.
You're not Cuban?
I am not Cuban.
Or you weren't Cuban?
I wasn't Cuban before.
And you're still not?
I'm not yet. I share a common thread with my translators at the factory level, and I mean translator by... translator of the language of the leaf, right? Mm-hmm. And the language of composition of these products. And, we share an affinity and a respect for this craft, and we contribute equally to the process.
Yes.
And I contribute my own bent material, and it's received, and we create products that neither one of us possibly could have made independent of each other.
And this, a lot of this stems out, it makes excellent sense, thank you. A lot of this stems out of Matt's, like he says, his unique psychosis, which also bleeds over into other areas like jewelry and gin
That's
And
correct.
Am I missing any other ones?
Not for now.
Okay,
Not
all right,
for
good.
now. But yeah,
Next-
no, we started the brand in '03. Making our handmade jewelry product, and it's evolved into this circus of madness, luxury madness offerings as it is today.
All right, the next question that a beginner cigar smoker might ask that I would love your take on.
Okay, tell
Say
me.
that I'm just getting into cigars and I've lit up my cigar.
Yeah.
And I'd say to you, Matt, why does my cigar taste bitter? This doesn't happen all the time, but occasionally I get this bitter taste from a cigar. Where does that come from?
Man, you have to change your atmosphere and your mindset. You're having a bitter moment in life.
It's me.
Don't smoke angry. It isn't just that. I mean, it can also be the cigar itself, certain elements with the composition, its aging, its fermentation, all those things. But in my opinion, the thing that very spiritually connected me to cigar smoking was the element of shared time and being uniquely centered by the act of sharing smoke. And I think that if you don't have the right atmosphere to enjoy your combustible rod, it can affect how you take down that cigar.
This is like one of the biggest things I think is underserved for new cigar lovers is that we talk about if a blend has bitterness or it's got some issue with it, there are some things that are just the cigar, right?
100%.
But there
Yeah,
are
of course.
other things that could be very well the cigar, it could be the leaf in the cigar, but just as easily could be the atmosphere, the people you're with, the company, what just happened to you, what you ate, something like that can introduce something into that experience.
Don't smoke angry, or do smoke angry. I mean, whatever you want. It's your deal. It's your trip.
Next one. Now, if I get a cigar and
Yes.
somebody says, "Hey, this cigar is a little bit spicy,"
Uh-huh.
what the hell does that mean?
I mean, it means that it's got a bit of pepper response on your palate, your palate participation. Everybody kind of internalizes these things differently, and they describe the impact that the act of combustion has on their palate. So for example, someone could say this cigar has a lot of cream, right? But it's not like you're dousing yourself. You're not doing the champagne facial of like the coffee creamer at the Courtyard Marriott in the morning.
Right.
Is that descriptive enough for you?
That
Can
was
you get that picture?
You painted a very solid picture for
I'd
me.
paint
Yes.
it. I'd paint that picture.
So
Painted that picture before several times. Now, but the reality is what they're describing, or at least what I believe they're describing, is the palate response. So imagine, you have cut a fresh lime and you know that you're about to take a little bit of lime to the mouth. Or I walk into the room, and immediately your mouth starts to produce a greater amount of saliva when you see me enter the sector, right?
Yes.
This is cream.
The
You
wetness.
see.
The
The wetness.
wetness,
Yeah. Your palate is responding to the impact of the smoke.
This is a beautiful thing. And people do describe these, just like you said, they describe these things differently. What one person might call spice, another person might call pepper. But one thing is for sure, these are part of a profile that has some strength behind it.
True story.
Not your kittens and lambs cigar flavor profile.
Lambs?
Lammies. Okay. I've seen people do this in a cigar shop, and if I'm just getting into cigars, I might wonder, why in the hell do people smell the cigars before they light them up?
It's just kind of like you take a waft of the little food you have on your plate first too, right? You're about to consume this product. You're about to take part of it inside you. You're about to chief the rod, right? And so you're kind of like it's a little bit of foreplay.
That's one of the most unsettling yet perfectly accurate descriptions of that I've ever heard. And I think that the misnomer with the sniffing the cigar is there's a couple of things that I would want a beginner to know. First of all, you don't want to do that in the humidor in your local brick and mortar. Like sniffing the cigar, it goes across the nose. It's just not great at it.
Just beginner shit, man.
But the other thing is, a lot of people, I've heard people do this. They're like, they sniff it, they go, "Oh, that's Dominican. That's Nicaragua." People can't do that. There's maybe a couple of people on the planet that could like sniff a leaf and tell you anything about the cigar. You'd have a better idea determining what the cigar is like by looking at the darkness of the wrapper or something like that.
True story.
But this is a very accurate, sort of like sniffing a meal, like Matt says, before you dig in. It does give like your brain preparation in the same way that like the spiciness is a palate response. It's like sniffing the cigar can be part of your lighting ritual, and it can give you that sort of introductory, your brain knows what's coming, salivation.
True story.
How do I know if my cigar is too dry and adversely too wet or moist?
It's saturated, man. It's juicy. Doesn't smoke right. Doesn't light right. I mean, how do you tell your underwear is wet? You know? You know what I'm
Because
talking
you're
about.
over 40 and you gambled on the 50-50, as we call it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you lost.
Yeah.
There's
Same
people
thing.
losing that gamble right now
Right
watching
now.
this.
Right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very unfortunate. Sorry, go to the bathroom and clean yourself
Get
up.
some napkins.
Yeah. When I first got into cigars, I was like, I wanted my cigar a little spongy.
Okay.
Like I wanted it a little soft, and my like ideal humidity was like 72%. And over time, I've watched it come down, and like 65% is my ideal. What do you keep your humidor at home?
Right about 65.
Right about 65.
right about
I find
65.
more and more people kind of gravitate toward that as they get serious into cigars, that a little bit lower in humidity.
Yep.
And do you find you get more flavor out of it too?
I do. I mean, I don't like when they're too dry, man. It's off-putting,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, I'll still smoke it. Cigars are also kind of like pizza. Like, you know, it's like
Yeah.
good pizza, bad pizza,
Yeah.
but it's still pizza. Like, you know, so you can have your way with it a little bit. But yeah, I like it. I like it a little bit on the humidified side, but not too much.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It's a very ambiguous answer.
It's I mean, for an answer that
Moving
there
target.
is no right answer.
That's correct.
That's the thing about humidity, and it's the thing about wetness or dryness with a cigar. The thing that Matt said that is definitively true is that if a cigar is too wet, it won't burn right. It won't perform very well. It'll feel mushy and squishy. If it's too dry, it won't have the flavor because those oils sort of evaporate off the cigar.
Yeah, man.
So there kind of is a sweet spot, but it's a range,
That's true.
and it's what you prefer.
And by the way, it's all personal preference. Like it's your story.
Absolutely.
It's your story, man.
All right, one more for you here on the big platform
On the being nice.
and the being nice.
On the being nice list.
All right, last one, and then we're
Okay.
going to go to Rumble and Plus, and we're going to have some other questions that are different.
Okay.
If cigars are just made of leaves, I've heard that the only ingredient really is leaves and a little bit of cigar glue.
True story.
It's just leaves that grow out of the ground.
It should be.
How do they have so many different flavors and strengths? How do we get to humidors filled with hundreds or thousands of different cigars when they're all just one ingredient?
Tim, you hang out at the mall when you were a kid, a teen,
Yeah,
a youth.
Yeah, all the time.
Did you happen to visually peruse the endless human assortment of the opposite sex? I mean, well, whatever you're into. I mean, I don't know. You might have been standing outside Petco or taking a gander. But
No, I went to the mall. I saw the girls. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you a quick story that maybe will help put this in
Okay.
context.
Okay.
Every year in Tucson, we had an extra vacation that none of the rest of the country got because I lived in Tucson. It was called Rodeo Vacation.
Okay.
And my youth pastor at my church would take the whole youth group to California during this week. We'd go all the theme parks.
Oh my.
And we'd walk through the theme parks, but we'd go to Six Flags during this week, and it was always, all 4 years of high school,
Yeah.
the same weekend as the national cheerleading competition held at Six Flags. And so it was just
a curious
thousands and
coincidence.
thousands of cheerleaders walking around in their cheerleader get-ups and like 50
Yeah.
kids from my church. So
Yeah.
there you go. Yes,
Perfect.
I've done
Well,
it. I've been there. It was great.
Yeah. Now, the reality is that in that environment, you were optically sampling an endless array.
That's a fact.
Okay? This is exactly the same with cigars.
Even though they're all the same, they're different.
100%. Everyone is uniquely different to itself, to each other, to its cousin, to its brother, to its corresponding sub-brand series, and so on. Every cigar blend is uniquely different. It is just like from one cheerleader to the next, an endless smorgasbord, as they call it, of delights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I was never much into the cheerleaders.
No?
No. I liked them a little thicker than that, you know.
Oh, yeah, natural. Well, that was a really weird way to outline that, but I got to tell you the truth. People are this way. We are like,
Yes.
DNA-wise, we're like, this is going to, this shocks me. This guy and I, we're 97% identical in our DNA. And that 0.025, that very tiny sliver of the DNA that's different, accounts for all of the differences. One can grow hair, the other cannot, looks like powder. One has got a mind that comes from Mars. One just shouts at a camera all day long, nonsensically. It's a lot of little differences that account for all the diversity of humans, and the leaf is the same way.
That's what I'm trying to say. Did I not? Did you're explaining that so much better than I did?
We talked about cheerleaders. I felt like that was pretty engaging for
Most people.
the guys watching.
Understood.
I-
And ladies too.
And the ladies too.
They're not shy about that.
No, they're not.
They like some stuff.
And
Like
good
some
for
things.
you.
Good for you.
But I'll say this.
All of you.
We're going to continue this. We're only going to do it on Plus and Rumble. I want to thank you for watching here. If you have more questions, you should drop them down below so that I can get guys like Matt Booth, legends in the industry, to answer them for you. And thanks again for watching. This is Tim and Matt, both signing off for Cigars Daily, and we'll see you in the comments.